April 6th, 2013, Arcadia, California. The Santa Anita Derby is about to get underway. The winner will go to this year's Kentucky Derby in 3 weeks. Amongst the hopefuls is 29-year-old jockey Kevin Krieger. For years, he's toiled in a sport with precious few African American athletes. Today, atop Golden Sense, he has his best chance at making history.
Santa Anita Derby, Fields, Hollyway, Golden Sense is right there. Summer exclusive pulling hard on the outside. And Golden Sense goes to take on Super 99 as they quicken into the turn. And Golden Sense is widening with a 16th to go. Golden Sense going with him, which is the match race we've been waiting for. And Golden Sense in full flight for the wire on the flashback. And Golden Sense and Kevin Krieger have got the Santa Anita Derby flashback.
Kevin Krieger, his first Grade 1 victory, gets the job done.
Golden Sense and Kevin Krieger are going to the Kentucky Derby.
We're going all the way, right?
Kevin will be only the third African American jockey to ride for horse racing's greatest prize in over a century. The first great American spectator sport was Thoroughbred Racing.
And the very first superstars in American sports were African American jockeys.
It's a vibrant and colorful history that's been lost in the mist of time until now. For the first time, their story can be told. Stories like Austin Curtis, America's first famous black slave jockey, who during the Revolutionary War was given his freedom after protecting a prize stable of horses from falling into the hands of the British. Or Slave Simon, who had been a prince in his native Senegal. In 9 legendary match races against President Andrew Jackson's own horses, Simon won all 9 times and trash-talked the president along the way.
At one of the races, Simon told the president, "Your horse can't even catch up with my spit."
Kentucky Derby is the most important horse race in America. African American jockeys won 15 of the first 28 Kentucky Derbies. In the very first Kentucky Derby in 1875, of the 15 horses in the race, 13 were ridden by African American jockeys. Blacks dominated first quarter century of the Kentucky Derby. One of the greatest riders of all time was Isaac Murphy. He actually won 44% of the races he rode. That is an astonishing statistic.
And the most legendary jockey of them all, James "Wink" Winkfield, the last African American to win the Kentucky Derby, a man whose legend continues to this day.
By the time he won, white jockeys were pushing black jockeys out, sometimes physically, trying to put them over the fence, rough riding, and nobody complained.
They become a threat for white men, in particular, even immigrant men. To see a black man succeed was a slap in the face.
Black jockeys were driven out of horse racing by white jockeys and white owners and white trainers.
May 4th, 2013, Churchill Downs, daybreak. As the Kentucky Derby approaches, Kevin Krieger takes a moment to consider his place in history. For inspiration, he carries a photo of James "Wink" Winkfield in his pocket.
I decided to make sure I have it with me every time for the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont because of the legacy those guys have. You know, those guys are the champs.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby.
The African American jockey is back. Finally, this rich and dramatic story springs to life. An award-winning documentary team will lift the veil on the story of America's African American horse racing heroes, bringing life to legends and legends to life, revealing hidden conspiracies, celebrating the game's early heroes, and setting the record straight.